to the old members that have found their way back to the community. I need you just as much as you need me. And this evening's live, I think it's going to be a pretty entertaining one. Not just for the fact that we do have a lot of bearish feelings out there. We've got a lot of people talking about negatively about not just XRP, but more like crypto as a whole. I know for a fact, reading through comments and just seeing the narrative right now, is when it comes to XRP, there's a lot, and I mean a lot of negativity, a lot of jokes being made today that XRP couldn't even go over 60 cents, even though Ripple's announcing a stable. I've heard it all. The ironic part is the more that the greed turns into fear here over the last 2 weeks or so, 3 weeks, because when it started coming down, now that 95% of those longs were liquidated in the leverage positions, you start to have a little bit more greed to the downside where people will start shorting. But I just want everybody to remember, even if XRP were not able to get over 60.8 and we ultimately lose 58 cents, as long as XRP holds that handle, we are in a cup and handle pattern that started, if we just look at when it started, it's not like it's a month or two long cup and handle. And for anybody who trades, for anybody who understands technical analysis, you know cup and handle formations are the most bullish pattern setups you could ever find. And the fact that it didn't happen over a day, this isn't a week-long cup, this isn't a 1 month cup and handle, this isn't even a 6 month cup and handle. This goes back. This is a year-long, 2-year-long cup and handle. Let's just put it how it is. This is a 2-year-long cup and handle. 2 years it's taken for this pressure to build up properly and push up. I think a lot of people in the short term, when I do short-term analysis, get thrown off. How I would say it's going to go down 11 or it's going to go down to here, or we are breaking into a bearish short-term proposition. That has no bearing on this long-term proposition that's been building up for over 2 years. Right now, we are very bullish. Yes, we might have some downside if it were to play out down to about 49.8 cents. Or we could get capped off at 53.8, in a scenario where we play down. But I think a lot of people, when they think that this is so bearish and that it just hasn't done anything over the last year or 2 years, I think they're just not just wrong, but their mindset is just in the wrong place. By just looking at XRP's patterns as a whole, you'd be like, oh, this is shit. Because it's been stuck, it hasn't broke through the 77-month consolidation, and this pattern's been going on since all-time highs. So, yeah, I can see how some would say that, but then when you start to realize what that means, well, that means that this isn't a 77-month consolidation. And when I say this is the biggest W I've ever seen in crypto, there's a reason why I say that. Because there's a W formed, and not just gold, but silver as well, that go back to like the 1970s. So obviously this can't compete with that. The handle that's being formed as well here, it's a crazy thing. But as far as crypto goes, understanding the 77-month consolidation and the fact that as long as you break bullish out of this, and these descending consolidations are bullish consolidations, they are very bullish when this pattern is ready to break one way or the other. They typically break in the up fashion. This uptrend's held not just in 2020, but 2021, 2022, late 2020, or mid 2020. No. Before, several times in 2020. Again in early 21, it continued to ride it and then started breaking up. But then in 22, it had the massive hold. 23, a massive hold. And now we had to come down and hit this, or come up and hit this resistance, but this is a long ways from just being over. Right now, XRP, like I've been saying, even though when we have the bearish proposition, so be it, we have to talk about it. But XRP is the most bullish it's been in 2 years. And I know it's crazy because of the price, but just where we're at in the pattern formation, within that 77-month consolidation, we can only go until December of this year or January of next year at the latest. And that's the apex point. And there's no way to even debate that. The apex point is right here where this X is. It's where it comes through. And that tells us, and I'm being generous by saying January, it actually ends in December of this year. So at some point, whether good or bad, this has to break. And now, if you start looking at this, we're more into an expansion zone now. And what I mean by that is when I start to get excited, I know the people that are here who watch me religiously know what this means. But this expansion zone, when you start to break into this, and I'll explain it to everybody what this means. So basically you've had resistance, support, resistance, support. It always comes up from resistance back to support on this pattern that's been going on, like I've said, since January of 2018 and the uptrend since March of 2020, which means it took 27 months to hit that support after hitting resistance. But now, for the first time in the entirety of this pattern, do you see what's starting to happen now? We haven't come back down to support, which means now if it doesn't break back below this handle and we continue riding this extension zone, and you can see why the 53-cent area is so important to me. Because when you start looking at this from this way, you can see you can't break 53. You've got to hold that area. That's how I got that 53.23 a long time ago on this chart. I'm not keeping this up here, though, because that's irrelevant. And then for the heck of it, I'm not keeping this up either on this chart because it's just going to clog things up. But this is what I mean with expansion zones. Some of you might have got your first dose of it when I talked about XRPH before, when it was about to break out. The weekly and the monthly, we got into an expansion. It was easy to see. And yeah, it looks better now than it did. When we started talking about it, this was on a long leg doji. But this was the expansion that was given to us. This is exactly what XRP is trying. We're trying to get into the expansion zone. And as long as you can hold it, then you start to break out. And there's no correlation between XRP healthcare and XRP. I'm just saying, I get excited when things break into the expansion. We can look at it again with XDC. When it got into the expansion was when I told everybody, if you didn't buy in, it's time to buy. And this is where it got into the expansion for XDC. You had a much bigger pattern in the descending triangle. But then when it got into this area, these are what I consider the expansion. It kept going support, back to resistance, support, back earlier in the pattern. So it would scale the entirety of this pattern. It would scale the entirety of it until it didn't. And generally, you can gather an opinion if something's bullish or bearish. So resistance, support, 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 didn't break, resistance. So every time it would up here, down here, up here. Then it starts consolidating up here. But then something changes. It never comes back down with XDC. And what I call those is the expansion zone. Once you get into the expansion zone, this is when you can start buying in for a breakout. Now, you have to watch where the support is because you're going to want to buy in when it's confirmed. And that's why we had resistance, support, support, resistance, support, support. This is where we were talking. And I came on the air at 395 when it hit there for that brief moment. And I said, I bought more because it's about to break out here. And we know the technical targets if it plays true. And we know what it needs to do to hold the retest. And we can see where the numbers are. But the point is when it got into the expansion zone down here, is when it really was able to make some noise. When this was starting to form. Here, let me get my drawing tool out. When this started to form, so resistance, support, support, support. We knew that this was creating this expansion zone, or at least I do. That's what I call it. It's not even a real technical term. It's what I call it. And then it breaks out. So now what I'm looking at with XRP, and I always watch the expansion zones, always. There's nothing I don't do more, or there's nothing I do more than watch expansion zones when I think something's about to possibly starting to change its fate. And that's what XRP is doing right now. The problem is that 53 cents, it's all but, it could have been calling for it. That's why you keep it in play, but it doesn't have to come all the way down there. It's just you have to hold that layer. A wick could come down to the 50-cent handle, but the point is this has got to play as a new uptrend. And then now all of a sudden, within the expansion zone now, 53 becomes your floor. You know the importance of that. That means 38's not your floor here. It's a big difference. It's a big difference. And then you look for, is there any catalyst coming out? Well, I mean, we actually got a pretty ironic one today that, believe it or not, is going to bring a lot of capital into the XRP ecosystem. Not just that, as much as we want to bag on Ethereum, I still think something is in the back rooms going on between Brad Garlinghouse and Hinman and Ethereum and all this. I think something deeper is going on that meets the eye. But isn't it ironic that XRP is going to release that stablecoin within the Ripple ecosystem on the ledger, but also the Ethereum ecosystem? Does anybody find that ironic that they're going to tap that market too? I think it's pretty interesting when you start to see what's actually lining up here. So if you are watching right now, I know that was a pretty big opening, but there was a lot I wanted to say there. Don't give your hopes up. We are absolutely in the most bullish position we've been in 2 years for XRP. I haven't even shown you the expansion zone on XRP because I was hoping that we were going to get another hit at 53, but I noticed the mood's down a little bit more within the community. So why not give a little bit of good positivity here? Remember, positivity over negativity. You put that positivity out and things become a little bit clearer than if you're negative. When you're negative, you're a little more angry. Julie knows that's how I get when I'm negative, yada, yada, yada. Even if it's a point that, I'm looking at things being negative instead of positive. That's the biggest change that I'm still trying to make, but have made a big change with that. Not just on the air, but in the personal life too. It's just, we've got to keep things in perspective. And I think that's a great way to start the opening just so we can keep things in perspective. So please make sure to hit that like button so YouTube recommends this live. I think a lot of people would benefit from seeing these lives, from seeing the content, because you don't have to worry about me giving you BS. I don't care to give any BS. I don't care for it. Like, what does it do me? It might give me a few extra followers, but I don't need cheap views. I want people that are here because they're really trying to advance like I am. That know that if we do this right, we don't need another alternative. We can be our own central bank, but we can push it through cryptocurrencies, and we can understand with precious metals. But the whole thing that comes together here, forget the rest, just with XRP, there's a reason why they're going to bring that liquidity pool in through the stablecoin. Something bigger is going on that meets the eye here with the XRP ecosystem within the ledger. I'm telling you, something bigger is going on behind the doors with the SEC as well. And we've seen Brad Garlinghouse. I shared an article earlier this morning that I read. I don't know if anybody's seen it at the end of this morning's update. But because I put two together so quickly, the first one only got like 860 views, but the second update got 1,300 already. So, but it was necessary because of the news that came out. But Garlinghouse said he suspects the settlement will be in the low. He suspects it to be very low if it's going to happen. And he says it's going to be in the millions and not, but that's what I'm saying. Even if it's 200 million, it's going to be looked at a win because it's not 2 billion. So with that being said, I appreciate everybody. Just hit that like button so YouTube recommends this live. It'll allow more people to find our community. YouTube will recommend the live if you hit that like button. It's that simple. And thank you all members of Tom's Army for being in here. You continue to allow me to put this, my best foot forward, let's put it that way, by single-handedly sponsoring this program, because I don't do any paid promotions, advertisements, or sponsorships, because I want to get through this and not have to deal with any nonsense. So without that being said, and we'll get into the comments very quickly, good evening, 6:54 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on this Thursday, April 4th, 2024. I'm XRP Future Millionaire, and I reside in the great state of Michigan. And real quickly, I had some that were saying they had issues with the XRP healthcare wallet yesterday, so I bought a few more. I sent it over and I staked it. I did not have a problem when I did it this morning. So now I have over 51,000 staked. So, but I just want to let everybody know I used the wallet and it didn't affect me today, but I didn't use it yesterday. They said it was having a bug, so I waited till today after the update. And I just wanted to let everybody know that I didn't have an issue, but I want to know if anybody else did today because that's very important. So anyhow, let's get into this. Crypto Bob, welcome in. Dodger, welcome along with Will Rob. Thank you both for being in Tom's Army for 1 month with the emoji badge and me being abducted by aliens. JW, welcome in, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 1 year with the I Told You So badge. Howdy, my friend. EB, welcome in. Jason, Sutta, and ATK, welcome in. Thank you both for being in Tom's Army for over 6 months with the XRP Predictor. UK Phil, welcome in, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 3 months with the XRP Meteor. And my friend, you're the first person who actually sent me a friend request on Fortnite from my audience. So it says now we're friends. So I expect we're going to be able to play a game together here soon. I'm expecting it. I've already got 16 crown wins this season. I'm in diamond lobbies already. Not to flex because I can't get any higher. Uh, Light Switch Tom, welcome in and thank you for being in Tom's Army for over 3 months with the XRP Meteor. John Hall, Mario Louise Williamies, welcome in. I love that name. Mario Louise Williamies. I'm probably saying it wrong, but isn't that a cool name, Julie? That's a cool name. Matt Holden, welcome in and thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 6 months with the XRP Predictor. Jose Sada, welcome in, my brother. Thank you for being in Tom's Army for over 2 years with the XRP 589 Moon Badge. He says, watch, recycle, repeat, 49 cents. That's when I will buy again in my other account. Not a bad idea. Not a bad level to target. Especially if we come back down to test the handle. But like I said, make sure you pay attention to that 53 cent area because that's the new expansion into the uptrend. If that's the new uptrend within the 77-month consolidation, oh, baby, we're even closer than we thought. No. UK Phil, I did, but I seen that there. I didn't know if thought it was you, but I thought you were playing solo, so I did not try to send any more. But that's nice. I like that your grandson plays too. My nephew, my 12-year-old, got me into it. So, but like Jose says, watch, recycle, repeat. Watch the content, recycle to friends and family, and come back by watching the next update and/or live. Repeat, recycle. John Page, good morning to you, my friend. EOC says coffee's getting cold. Well, that's Julie prefers warm coffee.
That is a normal.
But that's normal, Julie says.
Normal.
Believe it or not, I don't drink coffee. Julie, do I drink coffee? No. It's incredible. You would think I would drink coffee. But you know what kind of guy I am? I'm a water guy. I like water.
If anybody has good coffee, send it.
Yep. Tanya May, welcome in and thank you for being in Tom's Army for over 1 year with the I told you so badge. XRP is stressing you out. I think it's a good sign. I think so too. When we're stressed out, it means something's happening. Good or bad. Bob Burtner, welcome in and thanks for being in Tom's Army for 1 month with the emoji badge of me being abducted by aliens. As sure as Bob is in the audience and I'm standing on this floor in front of you, that is my face superimposed on there on that emoji badge of me being abducted by aliens. Jorge, welcome in. George, welcome in. Thanks for being in Tom's Army for 2 months with the Dusty's Outhouse Crypto News. I love that badge. Trading with J-Ride. Yes, hit that like button like Trading with J-Ride said, and thank you for being in Tom's Army for over 2 years with the XRP 589 Moon Badge. What a beautiful sight that is to see. Thank you, J-Ride. Trading with J-Ride. Big Mac, welcome in. Randad, thank you so much for being here and being in Tom's Army for over 2 years with the XRP 589 Moon Badge. You are welcome, Randad, and I'm glad you figured out how to stake it. I'm glad I was able to answer your question when you were asking about MEXC. I think that's a common misunderstanding is that everybody thinks if they go on MEXC, they can stake it. You can buy it on MEXC, but you got to send it over to the XRP Healthcare app. So just that's their wallet, but you can get the app on Play Store or App Store, yada, yada, yada. XRP Rippers, FG, welcome in. Big Mac says, what are the odds the XRPL stablecoin is more expensive than XRP? No shot, right? I mean, I would hope not. But then again, if it's, I mean, doesn't that mean that XRP would at least have to have a 43% upside or 42% upside from here? Because there's no way in hell they're going to let the stablecoin be at $1 paired to the USD, right? And USDT, at least competing with them, but being paired to the dollar 1-to-1. And they can't possibly have a stablecoin that's outproducing XRP in price by 42%, can they? That would be embarrassing. I mean, just on the surface, if your stablecoin is outproducing you, we got problems. So I think what Big Mac is saying, and I think he was joking, but at the same time, I think he was making an excellent observation, and some picked up on it. There's no way we're going to be lower than the stablecoin. If we are, there's no reason to hold it. We might as well just hold the fucking stablecoin. I mean, at least then it's stable. So I see what you just did there. I picked up what you were laying down there, my friend. You laid the foundation, and instead of me pulling the nails out and knocking everything down, I nailed in the loose ends. myself, for my own brain. Just like everybody else, I hope they make that same connection. XRP Rippers, welcome in, and thank you so much for the $10 donation, my friend. I greatly appreciate that the super chat. Greatly. Thank you for paying it forward. The hitters, welcome in. Jan, good evening, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 2 years with the XRP 589 Moon Badge. It's good to see you in here, love. ATK and Matt Holden have been in Tom's Army for over 6 months with the XRP Meteor. Great, great, great. Great audience. You see some of the negativity, but like I say, negativity, if you only look at the negative, you're suffering from mind control. You've been predictively programmed to only look at the bad and everything. I know. That's how I grew up for the first 20-something years of my life. I'd always look at the negative. Takes an expert to know an expert. Christopher, welcome in, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 2 months with the Dusty's Outhouse Crypto News. Infamous, welcome in, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for, I believe, over a year now. I know it's on your other account, but I know it's over a year. So he's sporting the I told you so badge. GP Design and Manage, thank you so much for being in Tom's Army for over 1 month with the emoji badge of me being abducted by aliens, or 1 month. So let's get into this. Thank you all for tuning in. Please make sure to hit that like button if you have the ability. It will definitely help with the analytics. What did you miss, Ian? I think the biggest thing that I can tell everybody if you're just tuning in is that I know there's a lot of negativity out there with XRP. I know a lot of people are talking about how XRP is a pile of shit. I hear it. I see it in my comments, believe me. And how it's underachieving and it's not done anything for years and yada, yada, yada. Put that in somebody else's pipe and let them smoke it, okay? We don't need to hear that nonsense. So what's really going on with XRP, we've been in this 77-month consolidation. Right now, though, and I showed everybody, we're in an expansion zone. If you take it from when we started this uptrend, XRP is in a bona fide expansion zone. I'm going to delete that. But we're in an expansion zone here, which means that if we can use 53 cents as the floor, for the first time since 2020, we are no longer using the normal uptrend, and we've expanded, which would mean the floor would go from 38.6 cents to 53 cents roughly, assuming that this actually holds. And it's been, and the cool thing about this is, I know it seems like the inverted head and shoulders has been invalidated, but like I've been saying, it hasn't yet. And let me show you this from a different perspective here through the daily. What if I were to tell you, boom, boom, boom? Like, what would you say if you looked at it like that? Would that change your opinion of what the hell's going on here? Or the fact that we're in an expansion, does that change the mindset of everybody? Like, we are still very bullish. The fact that we are in a cup and handle that started 2 years ago, that formation started, it's been a 2-year-long cup and handle now. The cup and handle is the most bullish pattern formation, most bullish pattern setup you can have in technical analysis. The pressure that builds through the cup and the ability to hold and re-garner more attention through the handle, it ends up in it just ends up in a move that ends up just having a parabolic push to the upside. And XRP right now is in a moment where the next time it moves up, maybe the last time it comes back into these areas. Understand what that means. The next time it moves up might be the last time we visit these areas. So, if that happens, what do you think that means? That means you'll never get a chance to buy at the 38 handle again. And if this is the true expansion zone out of a 77-month consolidation, this very well could be the first time in 12, 24, 36, 48, 60, 7 years in 5 months, now 78 months, because we're in April. So for the first time in 5 years, no, the first time in 6 years, in 6 months right now, that we might have created an expansion zone, and that means we might actually be ready to start moving finally. Finally! Do you know how long it's been? And Let me make this exactly even so everybody can see. Because it might even be a little bit higher than 53 point whatever I said. Because if you're looking at it like this, which is probably how we should, but the problem is 53 is very, very, very much in play here. But if you're looking at this, and if we're in an expansion zone, I'm telling you, 53 cents, it can come down there, but it's got to use this area as this uptrend. If it does, and if we're really in an expansion zone, that means we're, for the first time, we could possibly be getting ready to push. And I don't just mean for the first time ever. I mean for the first time since we consolidated down to December of 2020. March of 2020 when we hit the uptrend. That's crazy to think about how long it's been. Sorry, but we've got to be so precise here if we're going to do this. And we can see how that played through. Look at that. That is fucking crazy. Yeah, see, I don't necessarily like that, though. I think... That's what I'm saying right now, everybody. I mean, look at this. We're legitimately trying to play through a new uptrend. I almost think it wants us to do it like this, though. This is where it bothers me to do this uptrend, because I know 53 cents is a key area, and I know we're in an expansion right now. I do, but it's like, where would you put it? I know my gut tells me it's 53 cents, and this doesn't seem bad. But I know it's somewhere around in this area. So let's just keep that on here. I'll turn that blue. But that can be the expansion zone right now. And that inverted head and shoulders would still be beautifully formed. Look at this. Take away the fact that you see a short-term head and shoulders. So I see it too right here. Boom, ba-boom, ba-boom. But imagine it holds this uptrend, right? It holds that area. So left shoulder inverted. Inverted head, inverted right shoulder. As long as it doesn't break this is still very much intact. That inverted head is intact still. And I just think there could be something sneaky going on here. As long as we don't break the very key areas there. And now if you break that, we understand that on a quick pull down, we could come down to 50 cent area, because that's the bottom of the bullish handle. Remember, until that handle breaks, we're very bullish. And nobody even says we have to come down there. That's why I'm starting to look at this expansion zone. Just so we can see, because that 53 cent area is very, very, very big support. So. Oh, so the update did work. That's beautiful. So you can send XRP now to the wallet. I knew that that's what the update was, but I didn't want to talk about it until it actually happened. So everybody who was asking me if you can swap XRP for XRPH in the wallet, now you can. So if you own XRP and you're trying to swap it to stake, now you can. That's beautiful. Thank you so much, ATK. So they got it within a 24-hour period. They were able to get it working. That's fantastic. That was what the update was yesterday, when some were saying they were having issues. I know I was having issues because it was saying that my internet wasn't connected or whatever, but I knew they were updating it, so I gave it time, and I didn't look again until today. And now it's good to see that, and like I said, I bought some, staked more. So it's good to see that you're able to do that. Now that's a big step. So does that make sense for everybody watching about XRP? And please do me the due justice of hitting that like button. 54 people have not hit that like button. You could all make an amazing contribution here by hitting that like button. We could grow this audience tonight on a very bearish night. Cleo, welcome in, my friend. It does seem like time, and we are getting ready here. It really does. The XRP market cap, and today we put in a beautiful reversal. That's the other thing. Today in the daily, we have a long leg doji. This is a signified reversal pattern. This is a bona fide reversal pattern right now. Yes, we'll have to have follow through, but the beauty is we hit a double bottom on the 200 day and the daily, and that's going to end up forming to be a Gartley there if it plays out properly. Even though it doesn't look like it, because it came down on a wick, I'm telling you, it snuck it in there on us. It snuck it in, right? It came down, and so when it was coming down, or you can just look at it like this. So it snuck that, though. That's the point. So you can see this coming down. You can see this. It's so weird how that happened, too. It brought a wick down and then came through. They do it very sneaky. But anyhow, we're back on top right now. What we need to do is push up, because in the 4 hourly, we're getting a little bit of, we're getting a little bit of, is this a continuation out of the top side? It appears to be. It appears to be, but we're going to see if we start out hot off the daily. But everything looks to be reversing a little bit here. But we do need to get over, don't forget, 33.36 billion to get back on top side for the market cap to invalidate this move down. That's just the way we'll put it. And then you could have the potential, if you lose this rising channel resistance, or support as resistance right now. But if this goes to resistance and we break down, you see what could happen there. So Bitcoin up 2,250 points right now to 68,235. Bitcoin is still very much in this formation, and we know if we come down, it can be 57,000. If it goes up, we go to 79,377. If we get on top of that, it's 85,557 or 572. Bitcoin right now is not broken down yet. It came back up over the critical level of 67,381 now. And it looks like we have a reversal here. So we'll see if Bitcoin can start out hot here to end the week. As it has today, it's flipped big time. We'll see what this has in store for us. We'll see what it has in store for us, because it's going to be coming down to an interesting, not just close, but the start of a new day here. It's going to be very interesting when the clock flips here. So I'm very excited to see all that. The XRP Bitcoin pairing. This still suggests at some point here, but XRP is in the midst of something that has to happen. We see how that puts in like a gravestone dozier. Maybe XRP's price is going to go up slower than Bitcoin. Because the way this looks, it's almost suggesting Bitcoin wants to have a move here, but we've still held this. 872. If we do come back to the top, it's 933. If we did break down, I mean, we can see where we have to go. So, if you swap one, oh, I don't know. I haven't done it, so I have no idea. I just send XRPH. I don't know what the conversion rates are. I haven't read into any of the fine print or anything. But it's good to know the people that are sharing. It's good to know. Yeah, that seems kind of weird. That doesn't seem right. If you swap XRP for XRPH, well, then I highly encourage you not to do that. That's the case. I don't know. Like I said, I haven't looked at it. I don't know. All I know is I send XRPH from MEXC and I send it right to the wall. I don't convert it from XRP to anything else. But here, let's read through this very quickly before we start getting into this too far. So, what does Ripple's stablecoin mean for XRP? And I know a lot of people probably have the same question. So let's read a little bit together. So what does Ripple's stablecoin mean for XRP? XRP has plenty of internet fans, but Ripple has struggled to win real enterprise customers. Will its new stablecoin fill the gap and overshadow its existing token? Ripple has declared the death of XRP. Well, to be fair, to be accurate, Ripple CEO Brad Collinghouse has said the exact opposite when announcing the Silicon Valley crypto mainstay would launch a US dollar peg stablecoin later this year. But in the grand scheme of things, XRP's usefulness is dwindling. But this is why I read this one, because this is what I want everybody to read, and I want to hear opinions. Sorry, XRP Army, it's not my job to speak it how it is. This is an excerpt from the Node newsletter, a daily roundup of the most pivotal crypto news on Coindesk, blah, 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 who gives a fuck. The Ripple stablecoin expected later this year will apparently be backed 1-to-1 by cash equivalents. Yes, this is exactly it. This is big FUD. This is what you want to hear. You want to hear this nonsense. That's what I'm saying. The more of this bullshit we hear, the more bullish I am. By the minute, I'm becoming more bullish by all the people talking negative. Ooh, feed me that negative talk of XRP, and I'm going to be very, very happy because I'll be very bullish. It's the number one. It's the number one indicator. What everybody else is saying, it's going to do the opposite. I love the FUD. The Ripple stablecoin expected later this year will apparently be backed 1-to-1 by cash equivalents, including U.S. dollar deposits, U.S. government bonds, and other low-risk investments, according to the company's announcement. The idea is reportedly to create a more trustworthy alternative to assets like Tether USDT and Circle's USDC. Indeed, as many others have pointed out, the 150 billion stablecoin market is crowded, but it's also highly lucrative. While Ripple put out, and they think it's going to go up to a $2.8 trillion, what is it? $2.8 trillion industry by 2028 is what Ripple says, what they put out today. But it's also highly lucrative. Tether, the first and largest stablecoin that currently dominates the market, is essentially being used a cash cow to fund Tether CEO Paolo Ardoni's many wild ambitions, from AI to decentralized messaging. It's possible, facing as much as a $2 billion fine from the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission (SEC), Ripple is looking for a new proven revenue source. Garlinghouse is apparently unfazed by the crowded competition, telling CNBC in the future the stablecoin market will look different, certainly based on the size. In many ways, Ripple's existing business model, selling financial services based around its XRP ledger as well as on-demand liquidity and RippleNet protocols, is falling short. Although Ripple has seen some success forming partnerships, see how much they're playing it down? It seems increasingly clear legitimate financial institutions do not want to take on the volatile currency risk of working with unpegged digital currency. And for anybody who actually knows, that you actually know because you've actually done research, so you know what I'm telling you is true right now. The only cryptocurrency banks in the USA are willing to work with, XRP. You can put that in your pipe and smoke it, but if you don't believe me, it's true. That's true. Over Ripple's decade plus in history, it often seemed better at building community. The XRP ledger Okay, I was just reading some of the comments, so it looks like a glitch they're saying on the app. Interesting. Over Ripple's decade-plus history, it often seemed better at building community, the XRP army, and being a crypto cause, taking the SEC to court over the crucial question of whether tokens are securities. It's been less successful at building products companies and individuals actually want to use it. That's completely untrue, and a perfect example is the XRP healthcare. We all know what they said about it. They're on the ledger, and they have no affiliation with Ripple. Nobody is using XRP itself as the method of payment. That's false, because I use it as a method of payment, so it's bullshit. Just like nobody is really using Bitcoin much for that. Columbia business professor and former Paxos stablecoin fund manager Austin Campbell said in a direct message. Of course, that isn't totally true. Diameter Pay CEO David Lighton partnered with Ripple on an early pilot experiment of XRapid, rebranded as Ripple ODL, to send remittances between the U.S. and the Philippines. While he no longer uses that particular service, he does use RippleNet messaging platform for some cross-bank transaction, which doesn't rely on XRP. Ripple has sort of a best-in-class data structure. Most of the banks are kind of behind, Lighton said. It's a good product, but they don't really sell it that much anymore. I think that they're sort of keeping it alive for their legacy clients. It's not entirely clear to me why that is. Lighton said he stopped using ODL when he left the consumer remittance business, but found it also to be a useful product. So of course he stopped using it. He's not in the business anymore. So somebody else who took over for him is still using it. Like, what an idiotic comment. Not a comment, but what an idiotic source to have to try to back up their statement of people not. See what they try to do. If you can, this is what the mainstream news does all the time too. They feed you the bullshit. They keep feeding you the bullshit. They give you experts that continue to feed the bullshit and into the narrative. until you all of a sudden believe them. Because you know how it is. They keep telling you something, eventually it becomes true, right? It's not entirely clear how all of that has been put together because I'm not currently using it, but it's reasonable to say there's some value added because it helps firms reduce their cost of working capital, he said. So that's what's going on with what is the Ripple coin, in their opinion, what does it mean for XRP? In my opinion, it means good. It brings a lot more liquidity to the XRP ledger. Yes, JW, that is why I'm moving on. I don't want to ruffle the wrong feathers, as you know. But I think it's a good thing. You're going to bring a lot of liquidity into the network. If it's on the XRP ledger by inadvertently, it's going to bring in attraction. It's going to bring in some money. So we'll see. We'll see, but it doesn't look to me like Brad Garlinghouse. The one thing I will say, he's a lying prick. No offense. I'm sorry, I don't mean to be so bold. But what I mean by that is he always talks bad about Ethereum, but he's launching this on their fucking ecosystem. So how bad can they really be? Right? They're in the pockets of each other. That's what I've been saying since the beginning. They're in the pockets for each other. Absolutely. That's been my argument with XRP, that it was a big gas, that in itself should bring the price up if it's used for a gas fee. That's what I feel like XRP is. It's not even a true stable coin, but in design by how many there are. But if it gets used and it continues, I mean, that's what we mean. I think that's actually a good way to look at it, because the more traffic, you know what's going to happen here. It's going to start, the transactions are going to go out of control, and then the price is going to start piling on. There's a lot of misinformation here with Ripple and XRP. It's actually astounding. And honestly, shame on Brad Garlinghouse for acting like he's against William Hinman, you know, and he's against all this stuff, when in fact, he's allowing it to be on the Ethereum ecosystem, which I think is a smart idea. But, you know, you kind of can't punch somebody in the face while scratching their back at the same time. So why Ripple is launching a stable coin. Well, I don't want to go through the takeaways. We'll just read. Blockchain technology company Ripple said Thursday that it plans to launch a U.S. dollar-denominated stablecoin in an effort to bridge the gap between cryptocurrency and traditional finance, and to generate more uses and liquidity for the XRP Ledger blockchain. Ripple's new stablecoin will be issued on both the XRP Ledger and Ethereum networks at first, and the main goal is to drive more liquidity, developers, and users to the XRP Ledger, which is the native blockchain of the digital asset XRP. It joins the growing stablecoin market, in which crypto tokens are pegged one-to-one to the U.S. dollar and are backed by U.S. dollar deposits, short-term U.S. treasuries, and other cash equivalents. The Ripple stablecoin is also expected to be launched on additional blockchains over time. This is a natural step for Ripple to continue bridging the gap between traditional finance and crypto, Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse said in a statement. Ripple continues to deal with a lawsuit from the Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, regarding the legal classification of XRP as a security. As a massive holder of XRP, Ripple has an incentive to bring more financial activity to XRP Ledger, and it's no secret that the decentralized finance DeFi sector is mostly built on stablecoins on various blockchains. For example, 6 of the 10 trading pairs, top 10 trading pairs ranked by 7-day trading volume on the version of DeFi exchange Uniswap that exists on Ethereum, involved at least one stablecoin as of Thursday. Additionally, 3 of the top 5 borrowed assets on the Ethereum version of open source liquidity protocol AAVE are stablecoins. Wrap Bitcoin, which is a token backed by Bitcoin that's held by digital asset custody provider BitGo, in a manner similar to a stablecoin, is also a top asset in these DeFi apps. With so much concentration of DeFi activity in stablecoins, Ripple said it sees the issuance of its own stablecoin as a way to attract users to the XRP Ledger ecosystem. I think Ghost might be meowing.
There's a really pretty rainbow outside.
Is there?
Yeah.
The XRP Ledger's native capabilities include a decentralized exchange, an automated market maker, were built to utilize XRP as the bridge asset. Ripple president Monica Long said, bringing a trusted stablecoin on XRPL will drive more adoption and contributing to a vibrant ecosystem. Tether USDT is the current juggernaut of the stablecoin market, with a total value of just over $106 billion in circulation on various blockchains as of Thursday. According to data from CoinMarketCap, the only other noteworthy stablecoin offering in terms of size is USD Coin, which had a market cap of just under 33 billion as of Thursday afternoon. So that's some information when it comes to the XRP. Oh, that's nice. That's pretty. When it comes to the XRP stablecoin, and some of the FUD as well out there. Because I don't think you just need to hear it from me, but you're going to see a lot of FUD out there when it comes to all this. XRP right now at 59.18 cents, up 2.98% on the day. Not looking bad here. Not looking bad. But like I said, we got to get over our next layer, 60.8 cents. And then ultimately, we need to get back over this area right here. It's about 62 cents right now. So 62 cents in current times. And we got to break this short-term consolidatory pattern. So if we can, we could break very bullish out of this, and we could start something that hasn't happened in a very long time. We're close. $36. Well, if you're into riddles, honestly, with all the FUD attacks that are coming, the price would actually do the opposite. If 36 was coming, if it was coming that quickly, more than likely you wouldn't get the FUD in there, because right now the FUD, to us it's FUD, but people are taking it as a reality and getting out of XRP. So when that starts happening, I kind of think the other is starting to happen here. You know, even though it's starting to look a little bearish, I think we're more likely to go up instead of down to 36. I think we're more likely to go up to 75 than 36. Could we go to 50? Yeah. But with what we're looking at, I don't know. When they're putting all that FUD out there, it makes me more excited, to be honest. Mr. Carter, welcome in. Hashtag Mother's Second Choice. M2C. Thank you for being in Tom's Army for over 2 years with the XRP 589 Moon Badge. And thank you so much for telling everybody to hit that like button. I greatly appreciate it. Holy shit, there's 184 people in here. I had no idea. I had no idea. Wow. But yeah, we'll see if this newly defined expansion zone can actually play out. We're hoping it does. I'm hoping it does, personally. Because if we got into an expansion zone here, finally, we could be starting something here for the first time in a very, very long time with XRP. But for this to be a new expansion zone, we got to hold 53 cent area. Just for transparency. No reason for hostility in the comments. I don't care for hostility, honestly. It's not my vibe. If you want to be negative, go watch some of the great talents here on YouTube that have no clue what they're talking about. But yeah, XRP Bitcoin pairing, we're still within a bullish setup. We haven't broke this little formation here. And with the bottoming pattern or bottoming formation, I would suspect, because look, I'm gonna do us one step better here. Forget that setup. I'm gonna do us one step better. We got a little bit of time here to talk still. But this is the XRP Bitcoin pairing. You see this? Sorry, just deal with me. I can't see out of my left eye. So, always makes it interesting to go from left to right. If you ever wonder why it takes me longer, that's why. I have keratoconus in my left eye. So I can't see. It's a big scar on my eye. It's almost like it's setting up for us. It's kind of giving this to us too. I'm going to go with what it's giving us, honestly. It's giving it to us. Just like that. Just like that. See, that's perfect. That is what we're trying to break out of. And if anybody recognizes that pattern, you should. You know why? You see that pattern by the XRP Bitcoin pairing right there? Let me circle it so everybody can focus. See this? See how that looks? tell me that that doesn't look like, and yes, we have to go back to precious metals. And this is much bigger. But doesn't it look like this before the breakout? Right? Look at that. Doesn't it look just like, and I want to know, does it look like that on the XRP Bitcoin pairing? It doesn't have to even be within the same sector. But if you start seeing the similar formation, it's similar, it's just, it's smaller. Now what happened? I deleted it. I just had it set up. You get the picture. I think everybody gets the picture. We're going to go from down there. We can go from up here. Ooh. Actually, this might be a little bit more spicy than I thought. Because you can even look at it like that. It's getting spicy. This one's getting spicy. So I'll be curious to see how this plays out one way or the other. I'll be curious. Be very curious. US dollar today was down about, pretty flat. The thing is we still have not invalidated this breakout attempt by the dollar. So the dollar very well could have a mini breakout to the top side. It's not going to be sustainable for any length of time, but it's still possible. Can't invalidate it till it breaks down. So we're still watching that. Gold absorbed that move up right now. It's at 22.90. Silver's up over about 26.83. It's been flirting with 27 bucks here lately. Total crypto market cap's at 2.46 trillion, up 2.43%. As I'm sure you can tell, we're winding down here because the kids are about to take their showers. They got school in the morning, so about 10 more minutes here. And then I'm going to go help Julie and do what we got to do here in the house. If you're looking for XRP in the USA especially, in the video description below and or pinned comments, you've got BITUNIX. They have the lowest spot and leverage trading fees in the USA. They also don't require a VPN, so don't feel like a criminal when you're trading. Don't pay the exorbitant fees that you'll find on Uphold. Use BITUNIX. They're up during high times of volatility. And it's been a life-changing experience for me when it comes to if I want to swing trade, but with an exchange being open and up when things are running crazy. Make sure you watch that. That's a great way to go. You don't even need a KYC if you're looking from exchange to exchange or transferring. So if you're depositing or withdrawing crypto from another exchange or withdrawing from that exchange to another one, you don't need to do a KYC. This is still fighting with the 271 resistance, kind of a little bull flaggy there. So just look at that in the video description below or pinned comments if you're looking to trade. Sean Crothers, welcome in, my main man from Maine. Hope you're doing well this evening. And then if you're looking for XRPH and you have the ability to use MEXC, that's in the pinned comments below as well as the video description. As long as you're in the USA and you had an account already there, you can still use it until the end of July, no problems. But if you're a new user, you're not going to be able to sign up through MEXC, but they do have XRPH, and that's where I buy it and then send it to the wallet to stake for 20% over 6 months. And I have over 50,000 tokens right now as I've been doing my due diligence. I knew he was going to fall asleep right during my live. As far as XRP healthcare, we can update the pattern here on this chart, which I would be very much for doing here for all of us. Because we very well could have found our new uptrend here, so that's looking good right there. Oh, it's looking beautiful right now. I wouldn't change much out of this consolidation. Even if it were to come down, it's still got a beautiful uptrend that it can ride here. That's a beautiful V-shaped recovery. I mean, if I'm being real, I mean, this looks very bullish. Even if it comes like that, as long as it holds, it's very bullish. I think it's going to get us up to our target of 6.2 if we break out. If we break down, we could retest 3, 4. Nope, I'm taking that away because it would come down to this green. That was a measured move back down, so get rid of this. So right here, you'd retest somewhere around 328 if it breaks down. I'm not convinced it's ready to break down just yet. We're very bullish on a monthly perspective. We do have also 2.5 if it were to reverse down and need to, but look at that V-shaped recovery up here at the top. So, like I said, I'm not convinced that this is looking to break down. Now, it's at a long-term consolidation, and if we look at it from a monthly perspective, it looks really bullish. It has an engulfing monthly candle on a big W over. I mean, that looks super bullish. So we'll see. We'll see what this has in store for us for the rest of the month. But as of right now, this looks really bullish. And we've had a very big consolidation here. And there's a reason why I didn't talk about it until March of this year. And when I talked about it, it was down at 1922, 24, 28, in those areas. We had a long leg doji forming, and we were speculating that that was finally the expansion zone, which we thought it was, and we can see how it broke out. So that's what I'm seeing for XRP Healthcare. There's not much more I can add to that today because we're more of in a holding pattern right now. And what I mean by that is it looks like we could have set up a bull flag here. We came down to retest the 200-day in the smaller time frames, but this could very well be a bull flag. And the scary part is we did it on a V-shaped recovery. These are very bullish if it breaks up.
Thomas, can I put your email on the panel?
Yep, very bullish. Did somebody ask?
They said they got it wrong.
Oh, yeah. It's strutregali@gmail.com. Julie will share it before I leave. So, very bullish here right now. Unless it were to break down on XRP Healthcare. And then, real quick for Tanya before I leave, because then I'm going to go. I'm going to help Julie out. It's been about an hour. We got about less than 5 minutes. So, please hit that like button before you leave. I would greatly appreciate it so YouTube recommends this live. If you appreciate my work and you want to show some extra support, consider one time per month sending a YouTube super chat to pay it forward as it's the beginning of a new month. Or consider joining Tom's Army and getting the emoji badge of me being abducted by aliens in month 1. And then it goes on throughout 2 years, almost to the 3-year badge now, soon. Very soon. And if you haven't hit that subscribe button yet and you need any other reason to hit the subscribe button more than what I've given you, I started on YouTube. My 3-year anniversary is March 30th of 2024. So just passed a few days ago. And I have not missed a day in over 3 years. So I've not had a day off in like 1,060 something days. So that should be a good reason to hit that subscribe button and join the over 21,200 subscribers. Julie Arwine, thank you for being in Tom's Army for over 2 years with the XRP 589 Moon Badge. That is my significant other. So this is what we're looking like with H-bar. We've come from support, resistance. This pattern is very much in play. We know this is what's going on. Support, resistance, support, resistance, support. If this holds, we should come back up here. So you're supposed to buy support, sell resistance, unless it breaks out or breaks down. So right now, though, it looks like we have a bottoming formation here. Unless this were to give way, this could be a bottoming formation here again. But we won't know until we get a little bit more evidence and see if we can continue pushing. It would invalidate that thesis if it came down below that 10-cent area. Other than that, you should have a nice push up here on H-bar if it doesn't break down all the way back up to 12.6. So from where it's at right now, that's about a 21% move. So I greatly appreciate all of you tuning in this evening during the live. I hope I was able to help. I hope you were able to get a little bit of education here. And I hope you'll tune in tomorrow at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to join us again for the live. But as we're walking out with XLM, we have this big resistance here at 13.3. If we can get back above that, we're super bullish though with XLM. We're still within a very bullish setup, just like XRP. We consolidated here, but we are by no means broken down here. By no means broken down. Honestly, we haven't at all. Even though we're back below the pattern formation, this hasn't broken down. I'm actually encouraged that it came back down here. Because now it'll give everybody a reason to watch this And know that if it can break past something like this, holy smokes. But it shows you the upside potential even if we're bearish. So just watch this. And watch the retest up at 13.5 if we continue on. Have a blessed evening, everybody. Thank you all so much. I can't wait to see you all again if you made it until the end. Hashtag be better, do better in the comments. Have you ever looked at Proppy Pro? I do not. I have not. But I'll look at it after I leave. Make sure you type in hashtag be better, do better in the comments before you leave if you made it till the end. And again, DGB looks bullish here. It's having a bullish consolidation. I think it's going to reverse back up here very quickly. Unless the market just tanks, but W reversal, nice bull flag. This looks to be coming back up into this direction on 187. And then if we can break it, pushing right back to the top side.